Hello, it's Natha Campanella, and I'm here for another week of my weekly astrological weather forecast. I like to use astrology for figuring out what's going on within each of us. Why are we experiencing certain emotions? Why do we have repetitive thoughts and habits and even relationships come into our life? And how can we live more fully with more excitement, more joy, more capacity for feeling the things that are difficult, but also the things that feel good? And this is what being human is all about. It's about being right here and right now and living our lives to the fullest. And astrology can help you do that because it's the map. It's your own personal map. It tells you what you came here to do, what some of your potential problems can be, and what your gifts are. All right, so we're talking about the week of November 11th through the 17th. So for all of you that love the number 11 like I do, it is 11/11 today. I always think that 11/11 brings good luck, and so today should be a lucky day. And we also have something astrologically that's happening today that's pretty big. We have Mercury crossing in front of the sun. And so this is a time where you can expect a flash of inspiration, perhaps some insight, and really it's a good time to come up with the solution to any problem that you've been ruminating on. So look for all of that stuff to kind of filter in today. And tomorrow on November 12th, we have a full moon. We also have Mars coming into connection with Jupiter tomorrow, and Mars is our planet of energy, action, drive, decision-making, and anger. And connection with Jupiter means that those things should also kind of we should have some answers delivered to us. We should be able to have a little bit of insight and inspiration around things that we want to move forward on. Even the way that we relate to other people, especially if they are people that frustrate us, and definitely helping us to sort of get moving. And this entire week has a really nice feel and flavor to it. We will be moving into, the sun will be moving into Sagittarius next week. So we're beginning to feel some of that Sagittarian energy. But before we go there, we have the full moon. It's happening in the sign of Taurus. That means that obviously the sun is across the sky in the sign of Scorpio. The Scorpio-Taurus axis is about resources. Taurus is my resources, the resources that I can use, the resources that I generate, the money, the love, the food, the comfort. And Scorpio is about shared resources. Everything that we don't necessarily have control over, the money that somebody else makes or the money that we have to pay somebody. And there's always this sense of us trying to bring those two things into balance because we can have power struggles, especially when we're talking about things like money and comfort and food and love. These are all things that we consider to be abundance, and we can slip into lack really easily if we feel like we don't have what we need or if somebody is taking more than their fair share. So we've been doing Scorpio stuff for a good number of weeks now, where we've had to go under the surface and examine some of those places that we get clutchy or that we get resentful or that we hold on to stuff and we react to things from a place of fear. So this moon has a really nice connection to Mercury. So that means that the ease and flow, the ability to talk about all of this stuff, have those discussions about money, really have those discussions about, if you feel like love is finite. And I was just talking to somebody the other day about this, feeling that there was only a certain amount of love or resources to go around. And if you sliced off one of the pieces of pie and gave it to somebody, that was less for the next person. But the truth is that these things are not finite. They really are. There's more of an infinite quality and flow. And that as soon as something goes out, something can come back in. So this is a good time to talk about that. And you can talk about it with friends or, Maybe it's just an easy conversation where you're going back and forth, just kind of processing. Or maybe it's a more difficult conversation where you're talking to somebody about money or about something where both of you have to have control. So, and also Neptune is going to be connecting to this moon. So Neptune does connect us in with higher power, with insight and inspiration that is not necessarily reality based. So be open to that too. Just really, the more that you can open yourself up during this full moon, and full moons are typically about release. So, what do you have to release? What kind of fears? What kind of holding tight? What kind of stubbornness? That's a Taurus thing. Do you want to be rid of? Moving on the 13th, we have some really nice connections. We have Mercury connecting to Saturn. That should give us the ability to have conversations about work-related things. We also have Sun coming into connection with Pluto, which illuminates some of our, darker things. Pluto rules Scorpio, so those Scorpio things I talked about earlier, the shadowy things, but also the things that bring us into awareness, right? With Scorpio and Pluto, we have to look at the shadow to really understand what's happening. So we get a little bit of a boost with that on the 13th. And then Mercury is in connection with Neptune. So again, there's more of that sense of feeling of really like sort of opening up to the insight, to the wisdom, really allowing ourselves and trusting ourselves that we know what is right for us. And it's not coming from a place of righteous, my way or the highway. It's coming from a place of trusting that we are supported, that we know what we have, that we don't have to grip, right? We don't have to grasp onto what we need. We don't have to exert so much power and force and control, because that is exhausting. And again, that kind of shuts off the flow. So I hope that you found this useful. And if you can think of anybody that would enjoy this message, please share it with them, tag them. Also, I always invite you to leave me comments below with questions that you may have, and you can send me direct messages too. And if you want to work with me privately, you can find out how to do that on my website at nathacampanella.com. And I hope that you have a lovely week, a full moon week, and I will see you next week.